In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add over 67 different widgets to your Elementor, either the free version or the paid version. This is by installing a bunch of plugins. Some of these plugins have some overlapping widgets, so I don't recommend you install all of them. Just watch this video, watch it on double speed so you get through it faster. And you basically watch me drag and drop all the elements onto a page. Then you can see which one of those you like and don't like, or need and don't need. Then you can go and install these free plugins, even if you have the free version of Elementor, and expand the drag and drop capabilities a lot. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WP Learning Lab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If it's your first time here and you're not yet subscribed, consider subscribing because I'm always sharing new tricks, new WordPress tips, tricks, and hacks and stuff to make your life easier using WordPress. So click the subscribe button, then click the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. And if you like Elementor, you're going to like this. I'm currently building the Ultimate Elementor course. It's going to be a bargain. There's a link down below to get on the waiting list, so click on that link, get on the waiting list, and you get more details while you're on there. And check out our Facebook group where we chat WordPress, help each other get better at WordPress. Link in the description down below. Join that free Facebook group. And with that out of the way, let's get into this Elementor tutorial. I'll see you in the screen capture. So the widgets we're going to add are just like the ones that we see on the left-hand side here. Not just like, they're a little bit different because they're unique widgets, but it's the same idea. They're going to appear in here. We can drag and drop them onto pages and use them. Now the downside to this is we're going to have to install 5 plugins. And I'm not recommending you install 5 plugins. I'm recommending you watch this video to the very end so you can see all the different widgets that are added with these plugins, and you can pick the plugins that you want based on what widgets it adds to your Elementor builder. And so let's just add these plugins and see what kind of stuff is added to the builder. So let's go to the dashboard and then go to plugins and then add new. We're going to add a whole bunch of these at once, and before you do add new plugins to your site, you should back up your site files in your database. I've linked a tutorial up above using Updraft Plus, great backup plugin. I walk you through how to set it up and use it. If you want to do backups and you're not sure how to do it, check out that tutorial. As for me, I'm just going to go through and start installing these things. So the first one we're going to install is Elementor Add-ons and Templates, which adds 6 free add-ons, and this works in the free version of Elementor and the paid version. There's also a free version of this Elementor Add-ons plugin and a paid version. The paid version adds 10 widgets in total. The free version has 6, I believe. And we're not going to activate it yet, because once we click activate, it's going to take us back to our plugins page. Then we have to redo this search. Instead, I'm going to go install another one. This premium add-ons for Elementor. I'm going to install that. That adds, as it says here, 20 different premium add-ons. Once that one's installed, I'm going to install Popbox for Elementor. There we go. Again, don't activate it yet. That is, if you're installing multiple at once, don't activate it yet. If you're not, you can activate it whenever you feel like. This adds just 2 elements, the Popbox, but they're pop-up boxes, which a lot of people still ask how to add them, so I'm going to show you how. We want to install this one, Add-ons for Elementor. And once that one's installed, there's one more called the Widget Kit. See if it's on here. Here it is, Widget Kit for Elementor. Install that one. As we're going through this list, you probably saw some others, like for example, where is it? Essential add-ons, or Elementor Essential add-ons, Elementor add-on elements. Those are 2 I haven't tested yet, so I'm not sure what kind of elements they add. Maybe that's for a later video. But for now, we're just going to install the ones we have. Now we've installed 5 plugins. Is that true? We installed this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, it's true. 5 plugins. I'm going to go to our plugins list, and we're going to activate them in bulk. So just click on Installed Plugins on the left, and then find those 5 plugins and check the box beside each one. It's this one, this one, this one, and this one. Then go ahead and go to the top. Go ahead and choose Activate from the bulk actions. Click Apply. As you might have saw, there's a new update for Elementor, which is since this morning, so I'm just going to update these now, just in case it causes some kind of conflicts, having them not updated. All right, now we're ready to go back into our builder and click on Refresh and see what kind of new elements we have to work with. So the widgets are usually added to the bottom, the new add-on widgets. So let's scroll to the bottom half of this. And we're going to see the first set, the link mesh live add-ons. You might notice that link mesh was not one of the plugin names that we added, but if we go over to plugins here and we just go Control F and search for live mesh instead of link mesh, because I read that wrong, we see that's the add-ons for Elementor plugin. So this is the plugin that adds this set of elements right down to here. So it adds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 elements. And some of these are overlaps. So not all these elements are unique to every plugin. And so you don't really need to install every one of these plugins. I just want to show you what these plugins will give you, and maybe some of these are exactly what you want. There is actually a separate plugin just for team members, and you can even create team member blocks just in Elementor itself, just to speed it up a little bit, makes it drag and drop. So if we check out what this one looks like, it's just a basic list of team members. And you can add another team member by clicking on Add Item. It's going to add another column, and then you can customize it just by clicking on any one of these, and it drops down all the information, including the image. The image will go at the top, and in fact it dropped that one down to another level, the fourth one, when I thought it would be another column. So maybe just stick to 3 on this one, but if you want to have more than 3 or more than 3 in a row, you probably have to make a custom one or use the team member add-on. That is the separate add-on. And if we go back to there and add another widget from that list, some of these are self-explanatory. I'm not going to add every single one, or maybe I should. Maybe that's what you want to see. That's what I'll do. I'm going to add every single one to see what they look like. This is the same idea, 3 across, as we can see here. Click on these to expand them and customize the data. You can't customize directly in here as you can with normal Elementor elements. You have to do the customization on the left-hand side. Or you can also build these blocks just with a regular 3-column row in Elementor. So it's not like this is the only way to create a testimonials list. It just makes it a little bit faster. Testimonial slider. Let's check that one out. I have a nice little slider here with arrows that you can click on. And same idea as before. We have the 3. You can add more by clicking on Add Item. If you click on the names of the customers, in this case customer 1, you can put their real name right here. You can add images, change their info, change their testimonial, and then you're ready to rock and roll with a customized testimonial slider. Makes it super quick and easy. Let's check out the status bars. These were popular at one point. They're not too popular now, but still interesting, fun to watch that animation. And again, click on them to customize them, change the colors, change the percentage, change the name. Pretty straightforward. Straightforward little widget. Let's see what pie charts looks like. Probably much the same, just in a pie chart format. And there they go. Same idea, just going in a pie chart. Let's check out the odometers. More than likely, same idea, just counting up from 0 to a certain number. And they count it up really quickly. Maybe they don't count up at all. Oh no, there's a start value and a stop value. Just count it up really, really quickly. Doesn't seem like you can customize the speed at which it counts. That's unfortunate because that was pretty fast. You blinked and you missed it. Let's check out the next widget. Services. This is one of those ones that could easily be recreated using Elementor blocks. It's just maybe a little bit quicker doing it this way. And even using the Elementor blocks, there's a lot more variation, whereas this widget, they have a couple predefined styles. Style 3, they're pretty much the same. But the blocks might be more versatile for you. But that is something that's quick and easy to add. Heading, I'm not sure why this plugin has a heading widget, because I'm pretty sure there's a pretty good heading widget already in Elementor. Different styles. You'll more than likely never use the heading widget from this plugin because you have the heading built right into Elementor. Not sure why I'd use that. Clients. This is probably going to be 3 in a row. Columns per row appears as 4. So it's going to be 4 in a row by default. And there's no pre-filled item. So we have to add our own items, it looks like. Let's see what it looks like when it's done. Client number 1. There, client 1. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. All right, the client widget, clearly I don't understand how it works, or it's just not super. So don't work with the client widget right now. Post grid, this is in a number of different widget plugins. It's basically just a grid of your posts. And you can use pages, posts, custom post types. This one has a nice little filter at the top, so you can click on one of these. It shows only posts from that type, presumably. And as if you have featured images, it's quite nice in default. Like it's this nice, clean styling and design. Let's check out the next widget from this plugin, which is the posts carousel, which is pretty much the same as the previous one. This rotates through instead of showing them all on the page. So here it shows 3. None of these have a featured image, so it looks kind of dumb. But here we have featured images. Now it looks beautiful. That's a nice little widget to add in, especially on home pages. People love to have their recent posts on the home pages, which used to be a huge pain to program, but now with Elementor and other page builders, it's super simple. The pricing plans. Here, oh, again, like the clients, we don't have an actual pricing plan pre-built in here, so it might not work how I want it. But I'm willing to try it again. No image, $3. Click here. Add my URL. There's a highlight option, so that one's highlighted. That's pretty nice. Pricing plan details. Some good details. And presumably that should be auto-updating and showing up now. Maybe it just takes a long time to build it. I'm not sure. But either way, it's not here. So maybe that pricing plan one's not super. Also, we just updated Elementor because there's an update this morning. So possibly the client's widget and the pricing widget from this plugin isn't working with the new version for whatever reason until the developer releases a new one, maybe. The carousel has some pre-built info, so this one should work. And this appears to be a carousel of just HTML elements. So it's just whatever you want, really, and it rotates through if it ever loads. That one's not loading well. So some of the widgets on this plugin don't seem to be working for me. They might work for you. And again, that is the add-ons for Elementor plugin. Now let's check out Widget Kit. And that actually is the name of the plugin. If you scroll down at the bottom here, we have a Widget Kit for Elementor right here. And that is the actual plugin. We can add a multiple portfolio widget, which the same format as the other plugin. This must be how Elementor creates these custom widgets for you. It allows you to tap into Elementor. And you basically just add information about your portfolio into here. And that will create a portfolio. And I added the portfolio here, nothing happens. And it turns out these ones above are appearing now, just taking a super long time to load. So this one was the pricing table from the previous plugin. That is now here and loading. This is how the standard appearance looks. And again, under styling, you can style it all. Style the colors and taglines, and it's all in here, so you don't have to use CSS if you don't want to. And this one is the custom HTML elements widget. And here we have the multiple portfolio, which is the Widget Kit, the new plugin that we're checking out right now. And it appears those widgets do work from this plugin, just to taking a super long time to load on my setup here. Not sure why, but the internet is slow sometimes. So this is the multiple portfolio, and you can customize it as you would anything else. Just click on these, and it's all just enter text, and you're done. Let's check out their pricing single. Now, it was also super slow to load. You probably didn't notice because I cut out the wait, but it was not quick. So I will cut out those waits for you so you can see what it actually looks like instantly. So this is the single pricing. that we have, and just change the options here however you want them to be. And then there's also a multiple pricing in this plugin, which was Widget Kit. I think pricing icon is a multiple, or it may not be. Let's see how it looks. No, definitely not a multiple, but you could put this in a row or a 3-column section. So if we just add 3 columns, that might look quite nice in a 3-column setup. Let's check it out. And duplicate this. Move it over there. Duplicate it again. Move it over there. Well, it's not a bad looking pricing table, and you can customize all the colors and icons and everything. That's a pretty good looking pricing table right there. That's the Widget Kit for Elementor add-on. Let's see what else the Widget Kit has. A pricing tab. It's unique. You don't see pricing tabs very often, usually only pricing tables. And pricing tables aren't great for responsiveness, but these tabs might be a little bit better. Not exactly clickable, but presumably when it's live on a site, you can click on these various tabs and show different pricing setups for the shared hosting, cloud hosting, dedicated servers for this example. And so you can have a pricing table that shows all your services. That's the testimonial center. Sounds like there's going to be multiple testimonials here. Kind of like the other one. And you can edit in here. Again, it even scrolls through, which is nice. And so you can add more and more. It'll rotate through all of them. Nice little testimonial setup. And then testimonial single is just a single testimonial. Although they have 2 of them here, so it's clearly not just a single. See how it looks. So it's a single that displays one at a time, and you can scroll through the different ones, however many you have. And then let's check out Team Overlay. Here we have Jonathan Morgan, and the overlay must be when you hover over, it shows information. And there's a bunch of other team options. I'm not going to go through every single one because you just drag and drop and see how it looks, but it's different ways of presenting the team. And the blog carousel, let's see what that is. More than likely it shows blog posts in a carousel format, meaning it'll rotate through your blog posts. Set here to show 3. You can show 1, show 2, or show 3. Enable autoplay. Let's enable autoplay, in which case it should just scroll through them. If there are more than 3, it looks like it's only showing the ones that have a featured image. So it keeps showing the same 2 over and over. And then there are other blog ones in here. There's the blog sidebar, blog revert, blog hover animation, blog image. That's just different ways of presenting your blog content. Then we have a slider animation widget, which looks like this. And that's a pretty cool element for a website. Non-functional inside the builder, might be conflicting with something. But it's a pretty cool widget, nice looking, easy. Then we have another slider content animation, slider box animation. Same idea as this, just different ways of presenting it. Featured image icon box. Pretty basic. I think you're better off just building this with an Elementor regular icon heading and text. Just doesn't look too impressive. Unless there's something I'm missing there. And then countdown. Who doesn't love a good countdown? You don't see it very often. So we have 2 different styles, horizontal and vertical. And I don't find the styling too appealing for this countdown timer, but that's just my own preference. Might be some styling options in there. You can definitely change the colors, but I think the overall box style isn't doing it for me. Then we have animated text, which is like the animated headline in the Pro version of Elementor. So this is a Pro version function in Elementor that you can get with the free version by adding this plugin. And it's not really defining how the text is being animated. Maybe it flips through those. Looks like it rotates through those, or it's supposed to. Maybe it has to be published and then previewed live. But it looks like you add these words and it rotates through them. So it would say we are professional, and then we are a developer, we are a designer. And again, that's a Pro element. If we look at the Pro elements right here for Elementor, the animated headline is a Pro element, which you can get for free if you have the free Elementor using this Widget Kit plugin. Post carousel, where you sell one of those, rotates through your posts. Maybe it's a different design. Let's take a look at it. There isn't too much you can do with the design that's unique. It's usually just a featured image and some text that you rotate through. And it's fairly unique looking. Clearly it doesn't have any content in it. Let's add a standard post, which should be just the blog posts on the site. So I've waited for quite a while. This one's failing to load, so let's move on to the next one. And if you aren't already, you should be watching this on double time, just so you see what these different elements and widgets look like. You don't have to watch me drag and drop them all the time. Just watch on double time, see if you like how they look, and it might be just what you need. That's a cool animation that you don't get with the regular Elementor button. A modal button. Let's see what that is. It opens a modal, as in a light box. It's pretty cool. The normal one, you probably add a link. Yeah, you add a link to the normal one. The modal one, you add a shortcode to appear in a modal or a pop-up box. So that's pretty neat. Inline pop-up. Let's add the next one, which is hover image. This is more than likely an image that you hover over and it presents some text or does something different. So you choose an image, then you hover over it, and it will change color like this, and then you can add text here. So let's just say headline, and then when I hover over it, it should say headline somewhere. There it is, headline. Pretty small, but I'm sure you can adjust the sizes if you go to styles. You can change the hover effects, the border types, things of that nature. That's a pretty cool, it's a little big right now, but if you had maybe 3 of those in a row, and you hover over them showing different text, that's pretty cool. And then one of the last ones here, there's only 2 more to go. Social share animation. This is Edward Norton here, not the actor clearly. Oh, that's pretty cool. You click on the click me and it shows his social share information. And again, this is something that full wide maybe doesn't look great, or maybe as an author box it'd be kind of neat. But if you had 3 of these in a row, in 3 different columns in one row, that could be kind of cool. Let's see what that last one for the Widget Kit plugin was. Social share collapse. Kelly Chen, this is much smaller, more streamlined. And it pops the social share icons out when you click on this little button. Remains to be seen how this works on mobile, but it works pretty well on desktop. So that's the Widget Kit Elements plugin. Then we have the Sizzify, which is this one right here, Elementor Add-ons and Templates. And that one again is 4 Pro and 6 free. And the free ones are similar to other ones we've seen. The post grid is a grid of posts, pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot more options for this one. And the styling is okay. I mean, I changed the color from blue to something else, but it's a pretty nice style. It's right out of the box. Then you can customize all of it using styling and these options here. And then the next Sizzify one, we have a pricing table. Let's see how that one looks. Nice clean pricing table. You probably want to have one of these in multiple columns in a row, so maybe 3 in a row, 4 in a row, or just 2, or even just 1. But you want them side by side, multiple of these elements. And then we have services, which is one of those ones that's pretty straightforward to build just with Elementor regular elements, regular widgets. You don't need a custom one, but that's how it looks. And you customize it over here. Pretty simple. Then we have contact form, which just puts a regular old contact form in here. Pretty straightforward. You have the form settings, and you can add more fields and all that kind of good stuff. And then we have more forms, a newsletter form. And this newsletter form should probably just be name and email. It's just email. It says here, need to add an access key or list ID, which apparently both of these guys need. MailChimp and Sendinblue require an access key and a list ID. Just add those in, then the form should work how it's supposed to. It's just collecting people to add to your newsletter list. User registration form. This is more than likely a carbon copy of the WordPress form, so people can register for your site if you have registrations open. And ask for username, email, and password. You can add more fields, and these are more than likely fields that are inside of WordPress. Actually, I'm not sure they are, but they should be. Otherwise, what are they registering for? And that is the end of the widgets and templates plugin. Now we have the premium add-ons. Yes, this is a long tutorial. We're just looking at widgets, so I hope you're going on double speed. Premium banner. Oh, first let's check out where this one is. It's the premium add-ons one, and it is the one called Premium Add-ons for Elementor. Let's see how premium these are. There's our image. When we hover over it, it has a little effect. And this is one of those ones that's also better in multiple rows or multiple columns in a row. Different effects to choose from, different heights, a bunch of different options you can choose. Sounds kind of cool if you have a little image gallery. It's a really handy one to have up your sleeve. Premium carousel. So the way this one works is you have to add content from your Elementor library. So anything you create in Elementor, like the header demo, is what's loaded into the carousel. And you can add multiple. So let's add the footer demo. There's our header demo. Then we have the footer demo, and then it's going to scroll through. What's nice is, well, they shouldn't be top and bottom. It should scroll through. But either way, what's nice is you can create these portfolios of your Elementor elements and show them on a website quickly and easily without shortcodes, just using this carousel. So that's pretty handy. The next one, premium countdown. Looks like I have to press apply up here to update changes to the page for some reason. And now it's going to want to reload all these widgets. So I'm just going to delete some of these. It doesn't take all week to reload these, because it's all loading into the browser memory, taking up computer RAM. So I'm sure it's a little full right now. All right, I'm just going to save the draft. Save it without all those elements. Hopefully we'll be going a little faster now. All right, now with a clean slate, let's start over with the premium add-on countdown. That's where we left off. Let's see how that one looks. Now the premium counter is just a value that it counts up to. By default, 500. You can add a title. If you enter over 1,000, it would automatically add a comma where it needs to go. So if you're in a country where you use periods there instead of commas, you need to update the separator, and the decimal point you can update here. And just after decimal point, you can have 2 digits after decimal, and this should add .00 at the end, and that does right there. Then you can have a value before the counter. So maybe this was dollars. I should add a dollar sign there. And you can also have a value or a character after, which we could have as percent. So now we have $5,000%, which is valid, I think. I think that's a valid number. Then we have some other options, display options. You choose it to be a clock, a cloud. I should update this clock to a cloud up here. And we have a cloud, so there's a bunch of simple options for this little counter, and that's all that one does. Nice and easy, drag and drop. Then we have a premium image separator. Let's see what that's about. First, we have to choose an image. So let's choose an image. It's going to pick a random headshot from our library. This guy. Let's see what that does. There he is. Okay, so it separates two sections with an image. So if we reduce this image size, it'd be like a little thumbnail. This is the distance the image moves around. So this is actually moved up by 50%, higher than it should be. And that's why when it was full size, it's overlapping the element above. So if we have this as 0, then there is no overlap up above, but there is overlap down below because you can see it's living outside of its container. When I hover over the image, its container is highlighted, but the image is living outside of that. So there's some adjusting to do definitely with this one to make sure it fits and works the way it should, but it basically allows you to create a image separator. So Elementor has a bunch of separators built in, the most common one being just a horizontal line, and now you can create your own image separators by using this element in the premium plugin add-on. Now if we check out premium modal box, let's see what that is. We have a simple box. We can show or hide the modal header. And a lot of these options, you can't really break anything. So turn them on, turn them off, add things, take things away, and see what it does to the actual element. And it's not actually saved till you save the page. You can add an icon. You can change the title of the modal box. You can use the text editor down below or an Elementor template to put content into the box. This is the content here. And some display options. And when this is live in preview, we should be able to click on it and it should open a box. So let's go and see if this one actually does that, because it's not doing that in the preview. So we'll see if it does it on the live preview. It does not. So it could be a setting that I haven't set here or not. But if you like this element, if you tweak the settings, I'm sure it'll work as noted or as it says it should. Now we're going to check out the premium progress bar. Probably looks very similar to other progress bars. Just a bunch of horizontal bars that load over time. Here's my skill, set to 50%. There's no actual loading here. Animated stripes. I do like the animated stripes for these modal bars. But we should be able to see this load as we in the preview here. Should be able to see it load, but it's not. And again, this could be the plugin, or it could be my browser is just done for the day, even though I deleted everything and redid it. But this testimonial box works, or author box, and it looks great. That's a really good looking author box, I think. Bunch of settings for it. And all the text you change in here will change in here. And in the preview, of course, company name can be changed here under company. Content is the text that you see in the quotes. And the author at the beginning was the image and the author name, things like that. Now, so that can be an author box or a testimonial box. Looks good as both. I think testimonial box is more accurate. That is indeed what it's called as well. Premium title. Again, another plugin that's offering a title widget, which Elementor already has. A little bit of a different design to it than Elementor, so maybe you like that design. You can easily do this with CSS as well, but if CSS is not your thing, then maybe this premium title is the way to go. You can add in font, awesome icon as well. And it will likely go after the title, right over here. And it came before the title, but that's okay too. So there's the premium title widget. Now we are at the premium fancy text. This should be interesting. So we have, this is text. Very good. So we have fancy text in the middle, which I think should be rotating through. So it should say the prefix, this is, followed by designer text, developer text, awesome text, and the suffix is just text. Now I'm pretty sure that should actually be looping. Let's just try saving draft. And if that doesn't help, we're going to try checking out in the preview. Because we saw a plugin earlier that also has this functionality, and Elementor Pro has this functionality as well. So saving the draft didn't do it. Let's go to preview. And that text is not looping. So I think we've come to learn that some of these add-ons are not quite what they advertise, or for whatever reason, my browser, my computer is dropping the ball, which I doubt. But here we have a video box, very similar to the Elementor video box. So it's pretty much the same. So if you have Elementor Pro, you don't need this. If you don't have Elementor Pro, this is a free way to get the video box. And we also have a premium pricing table. We saw some pricing tables earlier. Let's see how this one looks. It's a pretty good looking pricing table. You put that into 3 columns. That'd actually be quite nice. You could probably turn off the badge. Let's go to the badge section. Popular. I'd like to be able to turn this off, because often you have 3 different pricing options and then one of them you have a little label on it. I guess that works. You can take the words out. I don't have to play around with it, but there's a pricing table. And we have premium blog. We've seen a lot of widgets that display blog content. And here we have more blog content. Actually, it looks quite nice. It's quite nicely designed. It does have some negative margin on the top. As you can see, the light gray background is again outside of the dotted box. It's outside of its section. So that's something to be aware of if you use this element, because you need to adjust things because you'll be overlapping if you use this element as it is. Now let's check out premium person. Here we have a big image of a person. And when you hover over it, you have their information here. So this is another one that'll be better in a column. Let's just add 4 columns and then move the premium person into there. And I think that will look much better in here. If I can get it there. There we go. Yeah, so here we have, let's just add an image and see how this looks. Let's add this girl. So here we have her. A little too much content. Maybe just 3 columns is the way to go with this one. Let's move it down to here. That's a bit better. So her name is probably not Frank. Let me click outside of here to stop highlighting. There we go. That's a pretty cool effect. The premium person. And again, if you want to do this without a plugin, just CSS. It's all just CSS. Sometimes there's some JavaScript involved, but usually it's CSS these days. Premium maps. Let's check that out. Likely it's going to insert a map. And we have a latitude and longitude pre-filled, but there's nothing loading because you need an API key. So we're not going to go through the API key. We're just going to assume that it works. And there is the premium map. Premium dual heading. Sounds interesting. A heading and a subheading. So we have one heading that you can style differently than the second heading. So premium here in blue, and then add-ons is the second heading in gray. And you can do this with CSS as well, but this allows you to do it without CSS. So maybe that's what you need. And you can adjust all the settings for the first heading under style and the second heading under style as well here. And you can have 2 differently styled parts of the same heading, which could be a cool effect for your site if that's what you need. Premium button. Buttons are always a fun thing to work with because there's so many options, there's so many variations in buttons. This is a super basic looking button. but I assume there's going to be some effects. There's a hover effect, large button, on-click event. That's all nice. Usually with buttons, I like to see things like adding a shadow. We can add a border radius. I like to see it when you can have the click effect. So you have the hover effect, but then you have a click effect as well, which is what I like to see. You can have 3D buttons that look like they're popping off the page. Then you click them, it's like you're pushing an actual button and it goes flush with the page. Then you let go of your mouse cursor, it pops back up like a real button, which is a pretty cool effect. I don't see it in a lot of button builders, but you can do it all with CSS. Only a few more elements left in the premium plugin, Premium Contact Form 7. This is probably pretty straightforward. We just add the element, pick a contact form, and here we have our contact form. Pretty easy. Drag and drop, boom, done. You can even customize the button width, height. I assume some button colors as well. Yeah, you can customize more of the button. This is kind of a big thing, customizing buttons on contact forms. A lot of people have trouble with that. And this plugin with this widget allows you to do that using just drag and drop and add colors. I should say this without code. Not sure what I was trying to say there. But you can do the button without any coding or any CSS, which is not common amongst these builders yet. Premium image button. Well, there's no image there yet. This looks just like the other button. And I don't see a place to add an image, so I'm not sure why it's called the premium image button, but it is, and it looks the exact same as far as the settings go as the other button. So the very last element for this plugin, the premium grid. And this will show images that you add manually. So this is not pulling images from your media library. You can add these images manually and then use filters up here, which is the categories. Now this could be used for creating a portfolio. It's much easier if you have a portfolio custom post type, and then you can filter based on that, and you don't have to update various places when you add new portfolio content. But if you don't have that option, this is a nice way to add a portfolio with a filter. Now at the very bottom here, we have two more. This is the pop-up plugin, the NorWP's Elementor modules. So we have a pop-up on click and a pop-up on load. The most annoying, of course, will be the pop-up on load. So this is all it's loading for us right now. Let's change the type to success, see if we get some more stuff loading. Text says click me, so we should be seeing something that says click me. Now we're not seeing it there. Let's select an icon and let's add some pop-up box content. It's not letting me choose the content, so maybe the content has to be defined somewhere else in the plugin. So this is a pretty long tutorial already, so I'm not going to try to figure out this pop-up box right now. But if you really want to have pop-up box functionality in Elementor, leave a comment down below, and I'll make a tutorial, or I'll figure out how this one works first, and I'll make a tutorial on that for you. So leave a comment down below, and that is 60 plus elements of Elementor that we just went through. Free add-ons. A lot of these are in Elementor Pro, so if you don't have Pro, this is the way to get them for free. If you do have Pro, there is a lot of overlap. Even between the plugins, there's a lot of overlap. So don't install all of them. Just see or find the elements that you like, add those to your site using these plugins, and that's what you got to do. So that's how it works. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, get on the Elementor waiting list, get on the Facebook page, and hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell icon. And next up is clicking one of the videos on the right-hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.